Under the leadership of GEF, was seeing that cities are a really important actor on global commerce, on how to be able to take action on climate change, how to be able to deal with biodiversity, how to be able to deal with solid waste and pollutants. And instead of having sectoral actions, the question was how to work with mayors to be able to connect what they need to do at the local level to provide services for their citizens, transportation and housing and electricity, but also connect them with a global perspective, how to be able that local action has global benefits. And therefore, part of the question was, how do we merge together actions by the international financing organizations that are putting billions of dollars, national governments that are putting billions of dollars in the urban space, and then bring GEF funds that are able to influence the integrated urban planning for local action that has global benefits. What is very important is for cities to understand that if the transport department is not working together with the planning department, and if housing and transport systems and jobs are not coordinated, the city becomes very inefficient, and therefore the emissions for the cities are much higher than what they could be. And therefore this integrated planning, to be able to break through the silos inside the city, to be able to find financing sources that are only not good for the basic services, but basic services that serve the global commons, is an important idea of these global partnerships. The second important connection is to be able to say, how do cities learn from other cities? How do we accelerate the learning of mayors who are doing innovations in different spheres in the north and in the south, to be able to make sure that they copy each other? Mayors are innovative, they work with communities, but they want to learn from the mistakes and the successes of mayors around the world. An important part of this integrated view is to be able to connect these mayors around the world, to be able to connect them with the networks of cities that exist, to connect them with the international financing organizations that work with hundreds of cities, and to be able to have a far greater collective actions than just the individual projects altogether. So what we're trying to do is trying to use in this global partnership, which actually has been the first catalyzer to bring every important international financing organization around the world working on urban development, to come together and to think on these issues of sustainability. And while we are working only on dozens of cities through this platform and the support of GEF, the important idea is that these lessons can influence the hundreds of cities that each of these organizations have in our own portfolio, and also that these lessons can be used by the network of cities like ICLEI, by C40, like WRI, that have hundreds and thousands of cities connected through that process, so that knowledge becomes the catalyzer of change in this much larger action. And an important part of really bringing this is not only city to city, but the international financing organizations that work with national governments to make sure that there's this coalition of national, local, and citizens. Because many of the national government policies can either support the sustainability dimensions in cities, or they can prevent. How do cities get financed? How do they have the opportunity to bring sustainability policies? How can they connect policies of land registration, urban land planning, and transportation, depending on whether the national policies are supportive or not. An important part of this conversation in GPSC is to connect the national government policies, their NDCs, the SDGs, the action in the city level, and then the communities, because at the end, it's all about behavioral change of individuals, households, and communities.